So the big story of the day is known to all. Trinamool Congress Member of Parliament, we can't call her a Member of Parliament anymore, because Trinamool Congress leader Mahua Moitra has been expelled from the Lok Sabha. A people's representative who was elected to Lok Sabha with the votes of people today ceases to be a public representative.
Ironically, the Ethics Committee, which was set up to serve as a moral compass for members, instead it has been abused egregiously today to do exactly what it was never meant to do, which is to bulldoze the opposition and become another weapon to thokdo us into submission.
We do not recall, or rather we cannot recall, when is the last time the Ethics Committee had met on an issue like this or any other serious issue to decide the integrity of the conduct of a Member of Parliament, and thereafter had passed on recommendations.
The recommendation of expulsion is based solely on the ground that I have shared my Lok Sabha portal login. There are no rules whatsoever to govern the sharing of logins.
We are not even questioning the ethics of the Ethics Committee report getting leaked even before it is being tabled before the Lok Sabha. That is not unethical on part of Ethics Committee. No one should question it, because it's after all the Ethics Committee. Decision and the committee itself are sacrosanct. The committee's recommendation was put to vote, and by majority of BJP Member of Parliament, Mahua Moitra has been expelled.
This kangaroo court has only shown to the all of India that the haste and the abuse of due process you have used demonstrates how important Mr. Adani is to you and to what length you will go to harass a single woman MP into shutting her into submission.
Mahua Moitra did speak on our expulsion, but not inside the Parliament, outside the Parliament. In a quintessential way, in a firebrand manner, she gave out a fiery speech and said that she is just 49 and she would have another 30 years to keep going on a fight against BJP as she vows to see the end of it.
Tomorrow the CBI will be sent to my house. I'm sure they will harass me for the next 6 months. You tell me I have compromised national security with a login portal? Mr. Adani is buying all our ports, all our airports, and his shareholders are foreign professional investors, and the Ministry of Home Affairs is giving them clearance to buy all our infrastructure. I'm 49 years old. I will fight you for the next 30 years inside Parliament, outside Parliament, in the gutter, on the streets. Adim hanghingstra manovikatar jodi ami keu hoi, Sajon harane shashane toder chita ami tulboi. We will see the end of you.
Interestingly, the India Alliance leaders, be it Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and other partner leaders, were all standing by Mahua Moitra in a great show of solidarity. They wanted to give out a message that Mahua Moitra, Trinamool Congress leader, you're not alone. And the response came from Mamata Banerjee, Trinamool Congress Supremo and West Bengal Chief Minister, who unequivocally condemned this expulsion, called it unconstitutional, undemocratic, insult to a woman, and also said that this would give more power to the India Alliance.
Today I am really sad to see the attitude of the BJP party. Today I congratulate the Indian Alliance. All they are together. We are united. They fight back, and party fully supporting Mahua's case. They didn't allow Mahua to take her own stand to explain her situation. It is a betray to our constitutional rights. They ditch the people, they ditch the parliament, they ditch the constitution because they have the majority. After 3-4 months there will be election. So only one session is left out. For that, Mahua can attend the public parliament.
Interestingly, even though Mahua Moitra could speak outside the parliament, inside the parliament there were multiple efforts and attempts made by leaders, starting from Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary to Sudip Bandyopadhyay, and they all urged that let Mahua Moitra speak.
अगर किसी को सजा होता है, वो भी मौत की सजा होती है, तो न्यायालय पूछते हैं कि भाई आपको कुछ कहना है, जिसको हम नेचुरल जस्टिस बोलते हैं. मतलब शिकायत है, ये नेचुरल जस्टिस कहते हैं. उनको बोलने का मौका देना चाहिए. जैसे कि महुआ मोइत्रा को नाम लिए गए, जिक्र किए गए, उनके खिलाफ शिकायतें हैं, तो उनको तो कम से कम बोलने का मौका देना चाहिए. नहीं, आप खुद बताइए सर.
पहला सवाल यह है अध्यक्ष जी that can the procedure of the Ethics Committee override the fundamental principle of natural justice? जिनको अभियुक्त बनाया गया, जिनके ऊपर लांछन लगाए गए, उनको अपनी बात पूरी तरह रखने का मौका भी नहीं दिया गया.
So I would request you, sir, from our party, as your speaker, Mahua Moitra be allowed to speak.
Parampara, meaning tradition. The Lok Sabha speaker kept on referring to the word parampara, saying that there is no precedent in the past where in such a situation the quote-unquote accused would be given a chance for self-defense.
पुरानी परंपराएं मेरे पास भी पड़ी हुई है, जिसका मेंशन संसदीय कार्य मंत्री जी ने भी कहा है. इस सदन में परंपरा रही है कि जो पुराने अध्यक्षों के जो कुछ भी परंपराएं हैं, उनको नए अध्यक्ष हमेशा परंपराओं को पालन करते हैं. ये उनके होते हैं.
Now that the Lok Sabha speaker has referred to parampara, the obvious question now comes, where is the parampara? Where is the parampara or where is the precedent that has set the culture where one Lok Sabha member of parliament on the floor of the house, within the precincts of parliament, the temple of democracy, would use communal slurs against another member of parliament? Yes, I'm referring to Ramesh Biduri, the member of parliament from BJP.
It is, please.
उग्रवादी बोलने नहीं दूंगा कभी खड़ा होगा ये बता रहा हूं उग्रवादी.
Did the ethics committee meet on Ramesh Biduri? Did the ethics committee file any report on Ramesh Biduri? Did the ethics committee send any report to the Lok Sabha speaker recommending that he may be expelled for this unparliamentary conduct? Ramesh Biduri comes out and apologizes, and he's absolved of his crime. One single apology would absolve you from your crime, from the offense you commit. If ethics committee had found it prudent to investigate this matter, did they call him? He was busy with election campaigning. Ramesh Biduri, many people said, had insulted the very fundamentals of India's democracy and the secular fabric of the country.
Ramesh Biduri stood up and told Danish Ali, ye badwa, ye katwa, no action has been taken. You hate minorities, you hate women, you detest Nari Shakti, you cannot handle power and authority.
And that is not tantamount to a threat to our national security. But what Mahua Moitra did is a threat to national security. Parampara, Lok Sabha speaker, because he referred to the word on multiple occasions, thus multiple examples.
No, परंपराएं अध्यक्ष हमेशा परंपराओं को पालन करते.
Where is the parampara where opposition leaders and their mics would be switched off? Where is the parampara when an opposition leader would speak, the camera inside the Lok Sabha that belonged to Sansad TV, which is like a public broadcaster funded with the people's money, would only focus on speaker? You don't believe me? On 9th of August 2023, during the no confidence debate, while Rahul Gandhi was speaking, the camera had focused more on the Lok Sabha speaker. Where was this parampara?
जैसे मैंने प्लीज ब्रदर भाई पानी लो जैसे मैंने भाषण के शुरुआत में बोला, रावण दो लोगों की सुनता था, मेघनाथ और कुंभकर्ण. वैसे ही नरेंद्र मोदी दो लोगों की सुनते हैं, अमित शाह और अडानी. आप पूरे देश में भारत माता की हत्या कर रहे हो. धन्यवाद स्पीकर.
Where was this parampara where the opposition leaders are speaking and their mics would be put on mute? Did the Lok Sabha speaker condemn it? Did the Lok Sabha speaker come out in open and say that was wrong? It is in violation of the parampara which is existing. So parampara is also selective.
The ethics committee has no power to expel. You have assumed the powers of a quasi-judicial authority and imposed a penalty on me that you have no power to do. Used every tenet. This is the beginning of your end. जब नाश मनुष्य पर छाता है तो पहले विवेक मर जाता है. We're going to come back and we're going to see the end of it.
Inside the parliament today, multiple times, several leaders said that where is natural justice? The entire complaint has its foundation on a single affidavit filed by the businessman. One single affidavit. I do have a copy of it. One single affidavit has set the premise for a quote-unquote investigation by the ethics committee. And this affidavit has been filed by the businessman Hiranandani. And in this affidavit, even though it's called cash for query, nowhere Hiranandani has said that I have given X amount of money to Mahua Moitra to ask this question, or I have given this Y amount of money to Mahua Moitra because she allowed me to post this question on her behalf on the Lok Sabha portal, or not for once had he said that I have given this amount of money to Mahua Moitra to insult Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Because here in this affidavit, which is there in public domain, he has very nicely given a testimony wherein he is saying that Mahua Moitra, and I would quote, Mahua Moitra was very ambitious and wanted to quickly make a name for herself at the national level. She was advised by her friends and advisors that the shortest possible route to fame is by personally attacking Shri Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister of India. The only problem was that Shri Modi enjoyed an impeccable reputation and was not given any opportunity to anyone to attack him in policy, governance or personal conduct. As was her wont, she thought the only way to attack Shri Narendra Modi is by attacking Sri Gautam Adani and his group, as both were contemporaries and they belong to the same state of Gujarat. She was helped by the fact that the rise of Sri Gautam Adani had created jealousy and detractors among some sections of businesses, politics and media, both within and outside the country. She knew that Indian Oil Corporation, preferring to get into a long-term offtake agreement with Dharma LNG, a joint venture company of the Adani Group, and not with my companies. Based on this information, Ms. Moitra drafted a few questions that would have elements to embarrass the government by targeting the Adani Group, questions that she could raise in Parliament. She shared with me her email ID as Member of Parliament so that I could send her information and she could raise the questions in the Parliament. I went along with her proposal. My Lord, please acknowledge this. I went along with her proposal. That's what businessman Hiranandani has said. Does that make him equally party to a conspiracy? Does that make him an abettor to the conspiracy, abettor to an offense, abettor to a crime? So if the court can turn into a quasi-court in form of the parliament, should the same quasi-court also take cognizance of the fact that there were other parties who were equally party to the same conspiracy?
When we are deciding the right of a person, we are all acting as a quasi-judicial body. And before a quasi-judicial body, a affected person should be heard.
We are not sitting as ordinary members of this House. We are sitting as judges in a jury in order to decide the fate of one of our honorable colleagues.
What action has been taken against Hiranandani, the businessman? Mahua Moitra has been expelled.
मिस्टर हीरानंदानी जो बिजनेसमैन है, जिनकी कंपनी का इंटरेस्ट है और जो प्रमुख रूप से 5 सेक्टर्स में उनका इंटरेस्ट है, टेलीकॉम, शिपिंग, रियल एस्टेट, पेट्रोलियम और पाइपलाइन. अभी जो माननीय सांसद जिनके विषय पर हम लोग यहाँ चर्चा कर रहे हैं, जब से इस सदन की वो सदस्य बनी है, तब से आज तक उन्होंने 61 क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं. इस 61 क्वेश्चंस में से 50 प्रश्न उनके इन्हीं 5 सेक्टर्स में इन्हीं मिस्टर हिरानंदानी से संबंधित विषयों में पूछे गए हैं.
Find me one BJP leader, one BJP member of parliament who has questioned businessman Hiranandani for being party to a same offence that was directed towards tarnishing the image of Prime Minister Modi. Why aren't they outraged with the fact that Hiranandani, who is a man and was also party to an offence, quote unquote, committed by a woman, with the Prime Minister's image has been compromised with? Let's move on to the other paragraph. Over a period, my friendship with Miss Mahua Moitra grew. I also felt, through her, I would get support in other states ruled by opposition because she bonded extremely well with other leaders of the opposition like Sri Gandhi, Sri Shashi Tharoor and Sri Pinaki Mishra, with whom also she shared close relations. Importantly, she also made frequent demands of me and kept asking me for various favors which I had to fulfill in order to remain in close proximity with her and get her support. भाई साहब इतना कुछ बोल दिए, इतना भी लिख देते, कितना पैसा दिया, क्यों नहीं बताया? Why couldn't you say this? How much money you have given? And interestingly, businessman Hiranandani has mentioned 3 names, all belonging to the Congress clan. Here's a catch. Congress in today's day and time is there in power in 3 states as opposed to BJP, which is in power in 12 states all by themselves. There are other states where they are in alliance, in good relationship with the other ruling parties, the regional party. We're not talking about those states. I'm simply talking about 12 states where BJP alone is in power. A businessman failed to wear a businessman hat and failed to decide that dealing with BJP would be better than dealing with Congress ruled states. You want us to believe that? If so, anybody would believe that you're a bad businessman. Mahua Moitra wanted to give her login credentials to you. What happened to your own jurisprudence? Why couldn't you refuse? Said, no Mahua, I will not take your personal details. That's unethical. I'm a very ethical businessman. I will not be taking your details. You went with the proposal. That's your own statement. That's what you have testified in this affidavit, which has now led to the expulsion of Mahua Moitra. And he also goes on to say, I could ill afford to displease her. Many a times I felt that she was taking undue advantage of me and pressurizing me to do things I didn't want to, but I had no choice because of the aforementioned reasons. My voice changed, thinking how abala businessman Hiranandani was, helpless. He couldn't oppose. He couldn't resist. Mahua Moitra went with the flow. Such a helpless man. When is he approaching the Men's Commission of India? When is he approaching to any court of law, fighting for her rights that he has been wronged? He has been wronged by Mahua Moitra. It is equal to abuse, outraging somebody's dignity, professional integrity. Basically, there is a crime happening. Say for an example, my camera person wants to hate me. And my camera person Shumon wanted to take help of another person. So then another person volunteered. I'm your good friend, I'll hold Tamal from behind. You come and slap him. The person committing the offense is my camera person who is slapping me. The person holding my hands is innocent, abala, helpless. According to the law, if you are party to a crime, you are helping in the abetment of the offense. That makes you equally a criminal. Now there are instances where somebody has chosen to become an approver, a witness in a case. But becoming an approver or a witness in a case, according to the court of law, again, according to the court of law and Supreme Court judgments, not necessarily it is given that a witness will be given a pardon. Because the law says, and I would refer to the law, according to section 306 of CRPC, tender of pardon to accomplish with a view to obtaining the evidence of any person supposed to have been directly or indirectly concerned in or privy to an offence to which this section applies, the Chief Judicial Magistrate or a Metropolitan Magistrate at any stage of the investigation or inquiry into or the trial of the offence, and the Magistrate of the first class inquiring into or trying the offence at any stage of the inquiry or trial may tender a pardon. I stress on the word may, to such person on condition of his making a full and true disclosure of the whole of the circumstances within his knowledge relative to the offence and to every other person concerned, whether as principal or abettor in the commission thereof, which means there is no guarantee, there is no warranty that you become an approver and you would be absolved of a crime. If Mahua Moitra, by sharing her login credentials, had compromised the national security, had shamed the parliament and the ethical conduct expected from a member of parliament, the other accomplice who has facilitated her, helped her out, is also an abettor to the same offence. Now, the Section 12 of Prevention of Corruption Act basically says that punishment for abetment of offences defined in Section 7 or 11, whoever abets any offence punishable under Section 7 or Section 11, whether or not that offence is committed in consequence of that abatement, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall be not less than 6 months, but which may extend to 5 years and shall also be liable to fine. Mahua Moitra has given a lot of fiery speech in her tenure of being a member of parliament from 2019 till Friday this afternoon. And in one such speech, which if I'm not mistaken was in 2021, she said, "You keep taunting Congress about the emergency, but India today is in a state of an undeclared emergency. But the government has miscalculated. There is a fundamental difference between cowardice and courage. The coward is brave only when armed with power and authority. The truly courageous can fight even when unarmed. Do not forget this." These words came from Mahua Moitra. Not really sure if this too has been scripted by someone else, if there would be another affidavit by another person claiming a stake on this very speech. But as on date, maybe Mahua Moitra would be pondering on this very speech that she had given a few years back. Today, during the course of the parliament discussion, multiple talks happened. Many people said, or rather referred to the word natural justice. Many are questioning if this is the new Parampara of natural injustice. By the way, it is a mere coincidence that I'm wearing a black tonight. Thank you for watching. Do like, share and subscribe. Your engagement with us is the support that gives us the real strength to be on the track that you have encouraged us to be on.